You know, the other day I was talking to somebody on Twitter about, having a pretty intense discussion about Xbox and PlayStation and things like that. And one of the funniest things to me was the way that people really kind of go out there and have this kind of narrative that their company of choice can do no wrong. Like, I like gaming. I was a huge Xbox fanboy for a long time. I still like Xbox. I like PlayStation. I like Nintendo. I like it all. I just think that it's very interesting when people go out and do above and beyond what would be normal for a particular company. And what I mean by that is, whenever I bring up the fact that, Microsoft really has to do the exclusive things better, people always just like, I get the worst excuses ever, the pandemic and things like that. And the pandemic isn't a bad excuse because people's lives are more important, but the pandemic affected PlayStation, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, everybody. So it's hard to really just say, it affected one more than the others. And, both Sony and Nintendo are able to get games out during this time. And I just feel like we're much more ready in terms of what they were doing. Now, that's not to say that Xbox is bad. I think Xbox will really get their stuff together before too long. But what's going to happen in the meantime, I feel like that's something that is going to continue. They're going to continue to really kind of fall behind, and we're going to have to really see if they can play catch up or if they even care to play catch up and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like both Microsoft and Sony have very distinct kind of ideas about what they're going to do and go forward. Some of them are the same, but some of them obviously not the same. And so it's very interesting, to say the least, that these companies are out here kind of competing and stuff like that. And we'll have to see how this kind of goes. But we did get some good news. Sony gave a very interesting interview, consumer investor interview, which I thought was really well done. They did a really good job kind of getting out there, talking about the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, the future. They really kind of went out there and kind of handled business. And I like that from a consumer standpoint, right? They went out there and really kind of did a good job of doing that. And I think that that's simply amazing what they've been able to go out and accomplish. Now, with that being said, they did also lay out some pretty big news that I thought was kind of glossed over, and I wanted to kind of cover that stuff that really makes me happy because, it seems like more so than usual, a lot of the, media will sit there and talk up like something like Game Pass right after a big Sony announcement. It's just something that I've kind of noticed. So Sony will make a big announcement for PlayStation, and then you'll see different people from like IGN go, I love Game Pass. I used to play on PlayStation, but now I play everything on Xbox and Game Pass, and I only play exclusives on PlayStation. Like, this is something that has happened like 4, 5, maybe 6 times over the last couple weeks. And I don't really believe in coincidences. So very interesting when you see that kind of happen and the way that kind of goes. Like the whole grassroots kind of campaign, I think obviously is going on with, Microsoft or whatever. And I think that's kind of fine or whatever. I mean, it kind of is what it is, but just a little bit suspect, to say the least. But like I said, Sony did make some pretty interesting announcements. Documents from Sony's Corporate Investor Relations Day have revealed that the hardware manufacturer considers Returnal, the PlayStation 5 exclusive title from Housemarque, a successful new IP. The game was listed under the new Growth Vectors PlayStation Studios heading, which detailed games under the IP Powerhouses category, with both Returnal and Ghost of Tsushima listed as included successful new IP. Now, Returnal was released on April 30th, 2021, and while we don't have any sales figures for the game, the fact that Sony labels it as a successful new IP means it's obviously doing pretty well, and it should too as well, as it was a really good game. I know I haven't beat it yet, but I think it's really a fantastic game. Elsewhere in the presentation, they also noted a number of key partnerships that will help grow the PlayStation brand, including Project Haven, the exclusive new IP from Jade Raymond's new studio, which we don't know what that is yet, but it does seem like it's probably years away, so let's not really even worry about it at this particular point. But I do want to point out that the NPD only tracked Returnal for one day, and it was You know, they did a hell of a job kind of getting it out there in the top 10 for only tracking 1 day of sales. So yeah, they did a hell of a job, and I think that, you know, the game really is something different. Which is, again, people were complaining that, you know, at the end of the day, that Sony wasn't going to take chances. They weren't going to do this. They weren't going to do that. You know, and now we see that that's not exactly the case. They're taking chances. They're doing things. They're kind of going out of their way to make sure that they have games big, small, in between. And that's exactly what I think fans were asking for. I think, you know, as gamers, we want the big AAAs, but you also want everything in between as well. And I think Sony's been doing that a lot better than some of these other companies. And so I'm very thankful that they were able to kind of go out there and get stuff like this done, because it's like, this is the lifeblood of the industry, folks. So for them to say that, hey, this game is successful, you know, I think is great. I think they did a fantastic job with this. And it wasn't really where it stopped either, because, you know, gamers, hey, you know what? Like, we want this competition to keep going. We want Microsoft and Sony to kind of go back and forth, just because that's going to be great for us at the end of the day. And now you know, when you see this kind of stuff happen, and Sony and kind of makes this kind of announcements and stuff like that, I think that it's going to be very interesting when we see this kind of actually come to fruition. So hopefully this is going to happen, and hopefully this is something that you know, pushes the industry forward. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see console gaming stay around for a long time, many years to come. So definitely hope to see you know, great things happen going forward. And at the end of the day, that's what it looks like we're going to see, because Sony actually went out there and said they're expecting sales for the PlayStation 5. They're saying at least 15 million the next financial year, which is incredible if they can hit that mark. So Sony Interactive Entertainment has revealed during its Investor Relations Day presentation that it expects to move at least 15 million PlayStation 5s during the next financial year. Furthermore, the electronics behemoth forecasts sales of upwards of 23 million during the financial year after this, which would mean the console will have reached an install base of around 50 million in just 2.5 years. Of course, it's all subject to whether or not Sony is able to actually get the number of PS5s out during the time, but the system is definitely off to a good start. Earlier this year, Sony announced it had shipped almost 8 million PlayStation 5s as of March 31st, 2021. You can imagine, so basically 8, they're definitely probably at that 10 million mark. Sony expects, like I said, to sell at least 15 million and then upwards of 50 million after the 2.5 year mark, which would be huge, way faster than the PS4. I believe that's even faster than the PS2 hit that. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that is. But Sony also revealed during its Investor Relations Day that it expects the disc-based PS5 model to start breaking even next month, which I think I recovered as well, and that the PlayStation business is as profitable as it's ever been. In addition, it is labeled Returnal, which I also have just mentioned, as a successful new IP. Interestingly enough, they actually listed Days Gone in there as something of a game that's going to be successful or whatever. So I found that to be very interesting. So, you know, I don't know. Hold on to your butts. I think it's going to be a very interesting couple of years. I just hope the games continue to roll out and continue to look as good or even better than what we see with, you know, Horizon Forbidden West, which, you know, which are absolutely, you know, incredible looking. You know, like people talking about it, you know, people talking about all this kind of good stuff. I just find it to be really heartening for a console gamer like myself. I know I'm old school, but at the same time, you know, I want to see gaming continue to amp up and ramp up. You know, just that's the hope anyway. So with that being said, what do you guys think? I mean, are you guys excited for this? Or you guys think that the PlayStation 5 doing this well? Do you think that's bad for gaming? Do you think it's good for gaming? I would absolutely love to hear what you guys think, and just thoughts in general on gaming and where it's going. So, you know, it's always going to be very interesting to see how people kind of react to these different pieces of news and things like that. And hopefully you guys are, you know, all doing well and stuff like that. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. And, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Rebuilding, doing that kind of stuff, and it's just been a blast. So thank you guys. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.